Fedora Outlier LLC logo animation. Logo is burnt orange, reddish brown. The shape is a square with a white outer glow creating dimension. The letters FO are in the center of the square. The letters have a hand-drawn artistic appearance. Backdrop is black with light flares that appear then disappear. There is a transparent mirror image of the logo underneath.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Vashaun Jones, visionary of Fedora Outlier LLC, man, and I'm about to go in the backyard where it was nice and pretty, and my dogs like totally destroyed it. So we moved everything out. We're gonna remodel back here. But listen, there is 3 irrefutable but important rules to advocacy. And so we're going to get into them, understanding that the first rule is that you have to know what you want. Rule number 1. The second rule is you have to know how to get it. And the third rule is you have to know how to deal with no. And so we're going to get into it right after this.
Image of Vashaun Jones waist up on a white backdrop, wearing Everlast brand boxing gloves in a fight stance position. The words Empowerment Series Hacks for Punching Life's Bullies in the Face appear on the left.
Alright, yeah, they totally bombs over Baghdad, this back patio. And the birds aren't chirping, and it seems like it's going to be a pretty day. I don't feel the sun, but it's 8:20 a.m. in the morning. But anyway, let's get into this irrefutable but important concepts as it comes to advocacy. And group advocacy only adds one more rule to it. So I'm going to give that to you as a bonus, right? So rule number 1 is you have to know what you want, right? You can't expect to go to someone, i.e. your counselor, or anything that you're advocating for, anything that you want. Advocation always kind of has this connotation of dealing with disabilities, but it's just wanting something. It's advocating for something that you don't have and actually going out there and getting it, whether you're disabled or not. I mean, if I wasn't disabled, I'd still be advocating because it's my life, right? All right, so you have to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then nobody else can help you. If you don't know where you want to go, then where you end up is where you end up. All right, so that is rule number 1. Rule number 2 is you have to know how to get what it is that you want. You have to have the path that you need to travel, and the people that you're advocating with, not the group, but the organization that you go to, or the company that you go to, or the business, or the person, or the mentor, or wherever you need to go, or whatever you need to do to get there. You need to have a plan. Now, it doesn't have to be the right plan, but you need a plan, and I'm gonna tell you more about that as we get to rule number 3. And so rule number 3 is you have to know how to deal with no. And no is a complete sentence. No. It doesn't require anything after that. Hey, Mom, can I borrow some money? No. Right? It doesn't have to have because I don't get paid until Friday, or because I don't think you're going to pay me back, or whatever the case. No is a complete sentence, and you have to know how to overcome that no. And no comes in a bunch of different ways, because 9 times out of 10 you're not going to get a no. What you're going to get is a bunch of fluff, a bunch of I call it industry talk. Hey man, I heard you play the saxophone, let's work, let's do something. And they don't really mean it. It's just something to say to get you out their face. And that's what happens a lot of times in advocacy. They'll tell you something, just enough for you to think that they're going to do something, and then they end up doing nothing. You end up being frustrated and overcoming the objective, because that's what it is, and it is an objective of no, works like this. Ask more questions. Hey, I realize you told me no. What is the reason why you told me no? Is it something that I can correct? Is there a timeline that I can correct this, come back to you, and then potentially get a yes? Hey, I realize that you told me no. Is there anything that I could do to earn your favor, or earn your business, or earn your trust, or earn your confidence? Whatever the case may be, whatever the thing that you're advocating for, that's a question that I ask. Hey, was this just not a good time for you? Was this something that wasn't on your plate that you can't deal with right now? Is there something going on? Maybe is it something I can help you with? And that's a big thing with advocacy too. It works both ways. What can you help them do? What can you help them solve? And so you got different ways of overcoming the objective of no. So going back to number 2, you got to know how to get there, and having a plan. By having a plan, it shows that you thought it out. It shows that you've worked through it. It shows that you have some skin in the game, at least intellectually, at the bare minimum. If it's written out, allow people to punch holes through it. Allow people to show your flaws, your weaknesses, come back with a better plan of execution. And before you know it, you'll have what you want, right? The key word is what you want. Advocacy. All right, so let's say this group advocacy, there's one more component to it that people really don't realize, especially when it comes to the disabled community, right? Is this thing called group advocacy. And I don't care what organization it is. I don't care how many thousands of people it claims it has advocating. I don't care what the 3-letter FBI, KGB initials it has. When you work with group advocacy, everybody in the group needs to be working together on the same page. Think about it. You got left arm group A and right arm group B, and both of them are missing the arm. Shout out to anybody that isn't fully ambulatory. No shade to you. I'm just using this as an example. I'm blind. You can put blind group A, blind group B, left eye, right eye, whatever you want to put, right? Here's the thing. If everybody in there is missing an arm and you go to a politician and tell them, these are the ideas that I have, and then the other group comes in and tell the politician, these are the ideas that I have, and they're totally opposite of what the first group that came in there said, the politician is going to say, aren't all of you all missing an arm? Aye. Aren't all of you all missing an arm? Aye. Aren't all of you all blind? Then why are these thousands of people, because remember, we have thousands of people advocating for this one thing, and then this other group with thousands of things, of the idea that they want. It's the same thing. We want this, but we want you to go about it in a different way. Guess what? It's like you're holding a gun up. One side says this and the other side says that. And what does the politician do? He throws his hands up. He says, screw it. I'm not going to do anything. Anything? Anything. I'm not going to do nothing, because I'm not going to piss off this one side and possibly lose the 1,000 on the other side. So I'm going to do nothing. And that's why the group advocacy thing in America doesn't work. It doesn't work. So the best thing for you to do, is this a broken record for you to do, is to advocate for you. And let's change the world. And let's change the world together.
Light flares moving over black backdrop. The word empowerment in orange all uppercase appears behind the flares. Underneath the word empowerment, in white lettering also behind the flares, is a mechanism by which individuals, groups, and communities gain mastery over their affairs. Light flares fade. A transparent mirror image of the words are also underneath.